when we're being sinned against and wronged, it is very easy to want to take matters into our own hands and to begin to respond to what's being done against us. And yet, this is what God calls us to in Psalm chapter 25, verses 20 and 21. This is what we can do and should do when we feel like people are arrayed against us. This is what we're told. Oh, guard my soul and deliver me. Let me not be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. My integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait for you. I think there are several things that we see the psalmist doing as he sees those who are against him. First, he's praying. He's asking God to come and deliver him. He isn't taking matters into his own hands. No, he's turning these matters over to God's hands. How often we treat prayer as our last resort. We try to do all these other things and then we pray. Friends, prayer should not be our last resort. It should be our first priority. When we are praying, we are asking the God of the universe, who has omnipotent power, who has omniscient knowledge, the all-powerful, all-knowing God, to come and to act on our behalf in the way that he is able to and the way that he knows how is best to. Friends, prayer is always our best course of action. When you're being wronged, the first thing you should do is to go to God with that wrong and pray and ask God to act on your behalf. Don't take matters into your own hands. Turn these things over to God. Second, he says, may integrity and uprightness preserve me. He is not stooping to his enemy's level and responding in ways that are underhanded and wrong. No, he is continuing to be upright and to walk with integrity. He's walking in obedience and faithfully before the Lord. You see, no matter what people do against us, that does not need to dictate how we respond. We have 100% power over our choices. And don't give up any of that power to someone else. Don't allow how someone else treats you to change how you are choosing to act. No, we always have a choice. And so no matter what's being done against us, what we should be doing is responding by being faithful to follow the Lord. No matter the muck and the mire that's getting slung our way, we should stay above the fray and walk before God in integrity and uprightness. And then finally, what's the final thing he does? He says he waits for the Lord. He waits for the Lord. To wait for the God isn't just to sit back and be passive. No, to wait for God is to wait with eager expectation and full belief that God is going to make good on his promises and come through on your behalf. It might not be in the time that you want. It might not be in the way that you want. But God has promised to always preserve his people. When we take refuge in him, friends, the refuge of the Lord, the protection of God has never failed. It might not be fully experienced on earth, but even if we go to death, ultimately we are protected by then being delivered to heaven. God is a refuge that never, ever fails. And so wait for him. Put your trust in him. Don't respond quickly and act. No, wait for the Lord to act. This is what Christ did, isn't it? When he was on the cross, he said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. He was just entrusting himself to God. He was giving himself to God. He was suffering the worst thing that could possibly be suffered. As he took on all of our sin and all of our wrongs, Jesus had our evil imputed to him on the cross, put upon him, and he waited for the Lord to act. And act God did when God rose Jesus from the grave and showed that yes, it's true. Anyone who takes refuge will never be put to shame. The cross was not the final word for Christ. The resurrection was. And so Jesus should give us good reason that we can trust God and wait for him to act. Friends, no matter what you're going through, God has promised to redeem, rescue, and restore you. He's the God of the resurrection. And so wait for him. Wait for him. Don't allow other people to cause you to want to respond quickly and sinfully. No, wait for the Lord. He will come through for you. He will act on your behalf. And so pray for him to come. Walk humbly before him as you wait for him to act, and then wait for him. Trust him. No matter what's being done against you, God's promised he's going to come through for you.